Hey everyone, Joe from Cognitive Crypto here. It's that time of week again for the weekly crypto intel drop. This week, we're going to be talking quickly again about the fear and greed index as we do every week. Got some updates out of Bitcoin Miami as far as CashApp is concerned. We'll talk about a couple different scams and phishing attempts that have occurred on various systems recently and things to be aware of and how to protect yourself. And then finally, just give a quick update on something cool from the Terra, Luna, and Avalanche teams combined. Starting off this week, as we normally do, just talking about the crypto fear and greed index. So you can see that it's sitting down in the fear area and has dropped since last week. So last month, we were in extreme fear for almost the entirety of the month, or fear and extreme fear. So people were doing a lot of selling, and we had started to see an uptrend over the last week and a half, or last 2 weeks really, of positive trends in cryptocurrency as a whole, and specifically Bitcoin. And then we got a little bit of a retracement here in the last couple of days, bringing that fear index down to what they have listed as 34. All I'll say on that is, sometimes when the fear is growing, so again, as you trend that meter down, it can be a good accumulation point for cryptocurrencies. Looking at the macro or looking at many of the coins, they are going to follow Bitcoin. So again, as some sort of metric here, at least it gives you an indicator of a potential time that the selling will stop and the buying will begin. So just take that for what it's worth, and hopefully you can use that in your calculus. The next item I'm going to hit is from Bitcoin Miami and news released by CashApp. First, they announced a partnership with Serena Williams, so a major player in tennis, and then just a role model in general, becoming part of their team, although the exact details of their agreement weren't really released. More importantly, one of the announcements they made during Bitcoin Miami was that they're going to have a new paid in Bitcoin function attached to CashApp. So what this means is they're going to set up a system with the direct deposit system they already have. So for those who aren't familiar, CashApp, you can set up direct deposits to almost use it like your normal bank account. But essentially now what they're going to do is allow that payment to come in, and it will automatically be converted into Bitcoin. And you can choose anywhere from 1 to 100% of your paycheck to come in and go straight into Bitcoin. One thing that wasn't mentioned in there, though, was the fees that could be associated with that. Ideally, because it's a paycheck, you would not want to pay any fees because you don't want to lose any of that capital. Their fees currently to buy Bitcoin sit between 1.5 and 2.3%. When you go and do some research on their fee structure, however, on their website alone, you don't necessarily have those fees directly stated. So for anybody who's going to consider using that function, just be aware that you should look for what the fees are going to cost, because if it's 1.5% or greater, really, you can find better ways to do that. It's better to receive your paycheck and then going through some other on-ramps. They're also going to have a system where you can turn some spare change from your account into crypto as well. So those will basically be dust amounts of crypto, but I think it's worth noting that they're trying to be a crypto forward app. There's a couple things you should note about them that are a little bit potentially of downsides. Is although they can take direct deposits, they aren't federally insured. So if something goes wrong with your money on there, there's really no way for you to get any payment back. Additionally, they did just have an internal data breach of 8 million users. It was more focused on the investing portion, so it shouldn't affect those who were just using the peer-to-peer platform, but just something to be aware of it. The second topic this week is going to be a scam alert, specifically focused on a CoinMarketCap impersonator. So for those who didn't see the releases on Twitter talking about the scam that occurred with CoinMarketCap, essentially scammers were able to hack into the CoinMarketCap Cryptown social media app. Once they were able to get into the app, essentially what they did was post a teaser of an aggregated token presale. So again, CoinMarketCap is a data aggregator, and they talked about having a presale coin with very little details at all. And in that new post, they had created a link that was to get yourself some CoinMarketCap token labeled as CMC token. CoinMarketCap was able to recover that account and quickly noted that it was a scam to everybody, and they really released just one of their canned responses that you'd expect. Again, that CoinMarketCap, being a data aggregator, isn't going to ask for your private keys. They're not going to ask for your money, and they're not going to ask for any personal information for you to use their website. But why we bring this up, it's a great example of a major company in the crypto space being taken advantage of by hackers with one of their social media platforms. So again, they weren't compromised on the website. They weren't compromised on all their platforms, but they were on this specific one, which, if that's one that people follow, they might fall for the scam. So to you might say, well, how do I verify, or how do I protect myself in the future if, I see CoinMarketCap, a major company, saying, hey, we're releasing a coin, and I don't know if it's legitimate or not. So first, I would look to see if that community had some sort of Discord, typically Discord, Twitter, other social media accounts. Typically, when a major company like this is going to release some sort of token or some sort of fundraiser or event like this, they're going to have a coordinated social media release, and it's going to occur on all platforms at the same time or near simultaneously. So in this case, Cryptown was the only place that this was posted, and it wouldn't have been posted on their Twitter or on their website. So again, they have a major website, so you didn't see that posted as any updates for them. So that's a key indicator that maybe something is wrong. Next, looking for the verified accounts to release information. So, this isn't a perfect system, right? These are things you should look for across all of them. But if the verified CoinMarketCap account on Twitter, let's say, talks about it, it definitely would have lended some credibility, but it didn't. That being said, there have been instances where verified accounts have been taken over and then scammed. So again, you want to look across all social media platforms, not just one, when you're deciding whether or not a project is legitimate. And you also want to look for discussion. If they have Discord apps, typically when you're doing some sort of coin release, there's going to probably be some sort of Discord associated with that. And it's, the verified accounts on Discord, again, aren't the perfect indicator, right? Because there have been instances where accounts have been social engineered and taken. And then at that point, a new post is released, the Discord is shut down, all the channels are locked out, and all that's available is something that looks too good to be true. But again, how do you verify that? Look at other locations on social media. Finally, looking at this as an example, with CoinMarketCap being a very major website owned by Binance, the question would be, why would this website, CoinMarketCap, need an external link in order for you to invest or do anything with their website? They clearly would have the ability to have front end and back end developers do all of their user interface requirements and all the requirements to set up a token. So there's no reason really that a site like this would ever need you to go to another website in order to interact with their system. And even if they did, because they're owned by Binance, it would probably be done through Binance, not through a separate entity. So those are just some indicators. If you combine them all, making sure social media is verified, make sure verified accounts are releasing information, and then finally making sure that when it's a major company, they usually have a website, and that should be where things are going to be released, not an external link. And if you look at all of those collectively, at least it helps you protect yourself in the event that in the future you see a good deal come out of one of these companies. Third, we're going to talk about another issue out of Trezor this week, and it was a phishing alert for everybody. So if you own a Trezor and have put your emails into the system, you may have received a newsletter. The newsletter that Trezor uses to send out emails was compromised this week using an elaborate phishing attack, and it was done through the third-party email system they use called MailChimp. Essentially, what happened is they were able to social engineer an attack to gain all the emails of Trezor owners and then send out a fake newsletter. And in this newsletter, it had a link telling you that there was a compromise and you needed to go to this link provided in order to fix your Trezor. And inside that link, it was a malicious Trezor clone, essentially. So it was created again as a sweet clone for Trezor. And what happened is you'd go in there thinking it was Trezor, you put your seed phrase in thinking you fix it, and now your seed phrase is going to be compromised. So if you went in and put your seed phrase in, your Trezor may be compromised. The good news is if you didn't click that link and didn't put your seed phrase in, there's no issues with the actual Trezor systems that everybody's utilizing, so you shouldn't have to worry about your crypto being unsecure. Now with that, Trezor said in a statement, do not open any emails or use any emails from Trezor until further notice. So I imagine they're going to try to secure their system again. And once that's proven, they'll probably release a coordinated social media effort and email at the same time saying the emails are okay. Here's what it should look like. And now you've received the email. It can be difficult to protect yourself against these sophisticated social engineering attacks, especially when you think it's from a trusted company. But the keys to remember when you're using the Trezor, first, you should never, ever have to enter your seed phrase into any application unless your device tells you to. So if your actual Trezor device that you have tells you enter the seed phrase in, and that would only occur on very, very, very limited occasions. And as I mentioned, Trezor devices aren't compromised overall, so the suite isn't. But if you were someone who did put your seed phrase in, at that point, first I would check to see if your crypto is still in that wallet if you compromise it, and try to get it out of that private key and into another account. And then what you can do at that point, if you did compromise your Trezor, is you can just factory reset it, redo the private keys, redo the seed phrase, and your Trezor will be safe to use again. So you didn't lose it, or you won't need to buy a new Trezor if you were compromised, but you should definitely check your crypto. Now that we got through the scam of the week and the phishing attempt of the week, I do want to close out here on some final good news, or perceived good news. The Terra Luna Foundation is going to be purchasing 100 million Avalanche tokens in order to back their US Terra stablecoin. And that is an algorithmic stablecoin that Terra has set up. Also, as part of that deal, Terra Luna and Avalanche are going to swap $100 million worth of assets between the Terraform Labs and the Avalanche Foundation treasuries. Really what this does, it's cool because the Terra Luna has really been buying up Bitcoin. You may have seen that in the news here over the recent weeks to back their stablecoin. However, this is the first major cryptocurrency that is not Bitcoin that is going in. So it's ideally is overall good news for Avalanche to be that second coin going in behind Bitcoin. Also, you have to look at it from market cap's perspectives. It's two major projects. So you're combining really the 7th or 8th with Terra Luna and like the 9th or 10th in Avalanche, depending on which website you go to, market caps together and creating a partnership there, which really gives them a lot of room to maneuver in the crypto space and really puts them in a commanding position to work together. And finally, you'll be able to trade your US Terra. So if you do use that stable coin on the Avalanche network, which will be a new way to maintain a stable coin alongside your Avalanche if you do use that. So this news just came out earlier today on Twitter, and I think it's going to be pretty good news for the market space as a whole. Definitely worth watching the Terra Luna and the Avalanche projects given this news and their combined forces. With that, thanks everybody for watching the Cognitive Crypto Intel update this week. We'll be sure to give you any updates out of Bitcoin Miami, as we do have one representative down there, which we're super excited about. And we look forward to seeing you next week for the next Intel drop. Till then, we'll catch you later.